Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the beautiful Belle Isle. Obviously from America, one of the most fun tracks, I think, on the service of iRacing. Very tight tracks and racing. Very fun to watch. With me again this week is Bryan Perez. Welcome to the stream.
Good evening, everybody. We are on the other side of the country from me. I'm down south here in Texas, but we're up in Michigan and the beautiful, beautiful Belle Isle circuit. Great street circuit, and we're going to see some action here. Hopefully some action like we saw last week. So there is potential for a lot of change on the championship board here.
So here's your grid. Henrik Moller starts on pole. Tobias second, P2. Tom van Duffel, P3. Colin Byrne, P4. Carsten Flug, P5. Henrik Anderson, P6. Jacob Larson, P7. Ian Bird in P8. Nicholas Nelgrove, P9. P10, Jürgen Rigtrup. And Chris Lindenau, P11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lights out and away we go. Henrik gets a great start. Tobias matches him quite well also, though. As they head down to T1, T2 complex, Henrik has a massive gap going into them first two corners as Tom van Duffel is fighting against Colin.
Look at Colin. He's getting attacked. He's attacking Tom immediately, like I said, right off the bat, and gets the position already. Changing of positions. Henrik just wants to run away, though.
You get to see this beautiful long first straight. Everyone looks like they get through clean at the moment. Nothing on my software to say there's been any crashing, as everyone has paid the respect. But Tobias is right at the rear end of Henrik now.
Henrik Anderson and Jacob are going.
He slipped.
Goes around.
He spun.
Oh, he got to be careful there. Look like he was reversing in the traffic a little bit. Got to be real careful. There's not room for that. But that is going to be huge for Henrik's shot at winning this race. Tobias is still trying to get his car going back the right direction. He is going to be out of it unless something happens to Henrik.
Right on the nose of Tobias as he's going through. I think this is turn 4 and 5. Oh, he does. He just gets slightly run in. As we see Henrik Anderson chasing down Jacob Larson, who's had a fantastic start, actually P7 to P3.
Yeah, Jacob has really benefited from the early race calamity. He is just trying to keep a lead in front of Henrik Anderson right now and hopefully run down Colin Byrne. And then Colin Byrne is also trying to run down Henrik Steamroller. Colin does not want this race to be over, and he is pushing hard to make sure that he can get within the draft here. Of this straightaway. He's going down the straightaway. He probably has might have a little bit of a draft from Henrik, but he's got the pressure from behind. He tries to carry the speed through the corner, just way too much, and smacks the whole left side of the car. It's not going to turn after that. The suspension was completely broken. Near the back of this race, he ended up closer to the front. Tobias started at the front, and he ended up spinning out, and now he's working his way back up. Hunting Jürgen Rigtrup going into this corner here. Turn 7 right-hander going into the technical section of the track, and he got enough of a draft run to make it happen. Tobias is probably going to get by him one way or another at some point, and if he can just tuck into the back of Tobias, that may help Jürgen catch up to the people in front of him.
And we see Carsten Flug finally getting past Ian Bird, but goes a little bit drifty on the outside of turn 1.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that pass going into turn 1. It's so easy to try and use the draft to carry the speed, but if you mess up turns 1 and 2, this is exactly what happens. The guy you just passed gets a draft run. You're playing DRS games with each other. DRS chicken going into turn 3. Ian's got the inside, and he is going to not quite take it just yet.
No, but great respect by the two drivers there, giving each other enough room to stay in this race and on the track. Colin was having such a fantastic race. What happened?
He was just cruising in P2, but I'm willing to bet what happened is he realized he was going to need a little bit more pace to catch Henrik Steamroller.
Inside wall.
Oh.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it. He just tried to get a little bit more out of that corner and just touched the wall, and that was it.
He doesn't want to risk another spin, because this time it could be a fatal spin. I think he's going down the inside of Chris Linda over the start-finish line. Hopefully everyone gives enough room. As Tobias' beautiful move, sends it down the inside without any pain at all. Moller does hold the fastest lap of the race, showing what he did in qualifying was no fluke.
Yeah, I hope Henrik enjoyed all the screen time that we gave him last week, because at this rate, he's not going to get much. He's just leading the race by 4 seconds here and charging along. So just keep doing what you're doing, Henrik. You're doing great. We're going to go watch people race.
Colin Byrne currently in the fastest lap without any fake aero on his car.
If I'm not mistaken, these skippies used to go quicker when the rear wing got knocked off, and they had to nerf that because people were hitting their cars on the walls trying to take advantage of it. Now, I'm not sure what these guys are going to do with each other, but all I know is Tobias wants to get by both of them as quickly as possible.
It looks like these three are now within a second of each other. So Carson back to Tobias. Actually, it's even closer now. It's 6/10. Everyone's very close.
Yeah, they are super tight. Tobias is right on the back of Ian as they go through that corner. He's got to be careful. He doesn't want the same thing that happened to him with Henrik earlier to happen on the back of Ian's car here.
Nearly does. I'd like to see that. I'd love to have seen that again.
Yeah, you got to be real cautious with these guys. It's clear that Tobias can carry a little more speed through the corners, but he's got to be ready for that as they go through here. He doesn't want to get in the back of somebody. He's going for the draft pass. Looks like he got a really good run out of the corner there.
Still not got it done yet. He's probably going to get it into T1.
Yeah, he should clear him here. He's going to carry the speed into T2 and try and get Karsten. So he got a better run out of T2 than Carson did as well. He is in the draft, and he is just going to tuck in. Probably catch up to him by the end of the straightaway, but not make a pass, and then he's going to try and set something up going out to the backstretch.
But now Tobias is right up there. This is where he had to spin on lap one, of course, if you remember back. And that's...
Yeah, he's giving a little more space here to get that draft run. That was perfect. Give a little bit of space going into the corner. That way you can power through. Tobias knows he can carry more speed through the corners, so he opened it up a little bit so that he could get this run using the better corner and the draft to get by going into this corner. He's still side by side, but he's got the inside here. And Carson has to really hang on to it there. That was close.
Not only was it close to spinning and losing the rear end of the car, when he caught the car and it snapped back into grip, he almost put Ian into the wall.
Like sitting back in P10 right now, back out on the track, recovering what he can in terms of championship points here.
Yeah, very disappointing run, I'm sure, for Tom in this race. He was looking very strong in qualifying, and like we highlighted pre-race, if you make a mistake, there's no runoff to save you. You will just crash straight into a wall, and that's Tom perfectly demonstrated that how that will play out. Really close to Carsten Flug, actually.
Oh my goodness. Give us something here, guys. Come on, Ian. Give us a last lap pass. We want the spice again. We want the excitement. We live for the racing. He's got a draft run, and he's closing the gap slowly but surely. Let's see what he can do here. Come on, Ian.
The time is coming down 3/10. I don't think it's going to be enough, but if he stays close...
If he stays close, he can get a run going onto the backstretch. That's going to be the key here. He's got to nail this next set of corners, and in particular, the corner turn 6 going onto the backstretch. He's got to hit this perfect. And if he does, he can get a draft run.
Carson's looking very loose on the outside, getting a few touches on the grass, getting lucky not to spin the car around, as this is do or die for Ian now.
Ian got a great run there. You saw how much of the track he used. He is absolutely going to try and get a run here. I don't know if he's close enough to not have to really send it going into the braking zone, but if there's ever time to send it, it's now.
It's not enough. Carson has done enough, I think.
He's going to have one more shot here. They're going to go through this technical section, and he's going to need to get a good run coming out of the first gear right-hander that goes on to the last 2 sets of corners. Here it comes. Get a good run here, Ian. I don't think it's enough.
As Henrik has crossed the line in P1, Jacob Larson in P2.
Ian's trying to get a good run coming out of these last 2 corners, but it's just not enough. Carson did a very good job on that last lap entirely. He felt the pressure, and he held on to that P6.
Carson in P6. Henrik Moller, what a fantastic drive by him. He didn't put a foot wrong. Qualifying was fantastic as they're doing some bump drafting down the first straight.
Yeah, they're having a good time there with each other. Yeah, what a race by Henrik. Great win by Henrik. He really, to be honest, he didn't have to do much other than have a clean race, but that is often the hardest thing to do at a track like this. It is so easy to just fall asleep for a second and send your car into a wall, as Colin does there.
So yeah, Henrik Moll extending his gap to 93 points now. Jacob Larson holding on to P2 with 76. Tobias Sack keeping third with 49. Colin Byrne up a place with 39. Henrik Anderson up a place with 35. Ian Bird down 2 places on 34. Carsten Flug in P7 with 27. And Christian Corn is not here this week with 12 points. Tom Van Duffel with 11 points. Joint 9th with Jürgen Rigtrup on 11 points also. Gita Christiansen on 8 points. Dennis Pedersen on 4 points, who's currently practicing for N24, I imagine. Chris Linder now getting 4 points on the board. Nicholas Snellgrove dropping a position down to 14th.